Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new edition of our online interview series. We want to get an update on Calibre mining, and Ryan King is here with us from Toronto. Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
Excellent, Johan. Great to be here. A very exciting time for Calibre.
Oh, it is definitely. I'm a shareholder in the company. I want to disclose that first, of course. And really exciting times because it looks like you guys are forming a 500,000 ounce producer. I mean, it is already going extremely well. I think you had a very good year, but we talk on that in a second. So you told us, you published the news that you are taking over Marathon Gold and they are constructing their mine. So what's going on here?
Well, yeah, I mean, the vision for Calibre was to create a quality mid-tier gold producer.
Mhm.
And since 2019, we've delivered on expectations in terms of production and costs in Central America. That allowed us the first step into Nevada to diversify the portfolio.
Mhm.
And this is a significant step to get us to that 500,000 ounce a year gold production. And really importantly, diversifying the portfolio. I mean, 60% of the NAV
Mhm.
will be in North America post the close of this deal and upstart of the Valentine Lake Gold Project in Newfoundland. Yeah, as you said, I mean, the company there at Marathon has done a great job. They've advanced it through 50% of the construction, receiving almost all of the permits for the project,
Mhm.
one final federal permit for the Berry Pit. But also importantly, very excitingly, it's going to be 195,000 ounces a year for the first 12 years at roughly $1,000 all-in sustaining cost.
Mhm.
And that's based on a Q4 2022 feasibility study.
Mhm.
So
Just
very exciting, fresh numbers,
yeah.
recent, right?
Mhm.
And exciting for our team to be able to, an operating team, to partner with Marathon and see it through to the finish line and then properly bring this online,
Mhm.
and that's exciting. I mean, that's going to be Q1 of 2025. That's right around the corner.
Mhm. Fantastic.
So an incredible time for the company.
I saw also in that press release that you will have then $148 million cash in the bank, but you are also doing a $40 million financing. Does that mean that there is still needed additional cash to complete the construction of Valentine, or is that already fully financed?
Yeah, so I'll explain that here. Is that what we did was we really wanted to ensure that we closed this deal.
Hmm.
And what happened was when we announced the transaction, concurrently we announced a private placement
Hmm.
from Calibre
Hmm.
into Marathon Gold.
Hmm.
Right? So we're not raising new funds. We're just taking some of Calibre's cash and putting it into Marathon
Hmm.
to ensure that the project continues on schedule seamlessly. People on the ground understand that we have a true commitment to this project and want to see it through. But also that allows Calibre,
Hmm.
the acquirer of Marathon Gold,
Hmm.
to get a 14.2% stake in the company. And because of the tier one mining jurisdiction, Newfoundland, Canada, in our view, a tier one asset here, three large open pits, long life, low cost, with excellent exploration potential. We wanted to make sure that we put ourselves in the best possible position
Hmm.
in order to close this deal, to ensure no other interlopers could come in.
Hmm.
Is it possible? Sure, but Calibre now has a solid, friendly relationship with Marathon Gold to advance and close the transaction,
Hmm.
but also we own 14% of the equity.
Fantastic. Yeah, you just said it already. There's good exploration potential. I mean, still a 12-year mine life is fantastic. 195,000 ounces per annum. That's also great. And what is your feeling, let's say, about the exploration in the future here? Could that be really enlarged, that mine life?
Yeah, so here's what's really exciting. I mean, a number of people have looked at this project. Um, and we believe that it's very young in its evolution of discovery and resource expansion. I mean, I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
On our due diligence trip, our lead director, Doug Forrester, who again was the chief executive officer of Newmarket Gold.
Hmm.
And remember, Newmarket discovered one of the highest grade underground gold mines in Australia. Well, Doug is very excited about the exploration potential along this 32-kilometer shear zone,
Hmm.
right? The Marathon, Berry, and Leprechaun pits that have been discovered, equally about 1 million ounces of gold in each in terms of reserves.
Hmm.
Well, that's about a 5 to 6 kilometer long trend of a 32-kilometer long trend along this whole shear zone, where geochem anomalies have been identified to the south and to the north. And Doug was out there very excited, picking up samples of quartz vein systems that had visual gold in them. So
Okay.
we think there's good potential,
Yeah.
right? It looks like there's some tremendous potential along this trend, not only on the south side of the intrusive body, but on the north side, there's another 32-kilometer trend of shear zones that have really vastly been untouched. So this presents a tremendous opportunity and very likely a camp or a district.
Hmm.
Franco-Nevada owns a 3% royalty on the property.
Hmm.
They don't necessarily get involved for a 100 to 200,000 ounce a year producer.
Hmm.
They look for camps and districts.
Hmm.
And so their geological team has done a lot of review here as well, and clearly like it given the royalty package they've got.
Yeah, and now you bought the company. That's good.
Yeah, well, we've
Fantastic.
got to close. We've got to close the
Yeah.
deal, which is anticipated. Shareholder votes will happen mid-January,
Hmm.
and so we're focused on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're very excited because near-term production. I
Hmm.
mean, when you look at it, 50% of the construction is complete.
Hmm.
We've got to erect the plant and the site. Power lines are
Hmm.
are to site. Everything's ready to go. It's going to be commissioning the mill in Q4 of
Hmm.
2024,
Super.
and then first gold production in the first half of 2025. So
Hmm.
a tremendous opportunity for the company and a combined product that I think is going to have excellent re-rate potential.
Super. So 2025 first gold production, would that mean commercial production maybe end of 2025 or beginning 2026? What do you think?
Well, it's we'll see how it goes,
Mhm.
but potentially, if all goes well, it'll be in 2025.
Super. Perfect. Okay, then let's come to some numbers because you published recently your Q3 numbers, which I think were quite good, to be honest. But what I really liked
Mhm.
is your consolidated AISC. I think it's
Mhm.
$1,195. The question is, Nicaragua looks really fantastic. Nevada is still 1,456, maybe a little bit high, but is there a chance to bring that for a little bit more down? Maybe, let's say, to raise the production, produce a bit more, that you have more ounces on the cost. How do you see that?
When we acquired the Nevada assets, it's a 220 square kilometer land package. We've got the Pan operation, and of
Hmm.
course, we've been focused on exploration there. And if you look since acquiring the asset, after this year, we'll have produced almost plus 80,000 ounces of gold.
Hmm.
And at the end of 2022, we had replaced depletion and increased reserves at 23%. So we're really working on the exploration potential, working out the full mine life and opportunity there, but also drilling along the Gold Rock project,
Hmm.
which is at a PEA stage, federally permitted project of about 500,000 ounces of gold, with great exploration upside.
Hmm.
As I said, we've got a few rigs drilling along the trend there now. We would anticipate state permits in next year, and doing technical studies to see what the opportunities are there.
Hmm.
So, is there opportunities in Nevada? Absolutely. Exploration potential? Absolutely. And that was really the focus when we acquired the assets, was looking at that whole land package of what it could be. Now, at the time we acquired it, of course, yeah, it was producing 40 to 45,000 ounces a year.
Hmm.
And is there opportunity? We think so. We've got a bit of work in front of us. We've got some pad expansion to do next year. But nonetheless, I mean, as we've said, tier one mining jurisdiction, Nevada, great exploration potential. And as we work on that, yeah, I think there'll be opportunities to reduce those costs, but we've got some work in front of us.
Hmm.
Um, and all equally as well in Nicaragua. When we look at the future of Nicaragua, we're bringing in additional satellite pits. We've
Hmm.
demonstrated that we can do that around the country.
Hmm.
Q3 was a fantastic
Hmm.
all-in sustaining cost outcome, just a little over $1,100 an ounce.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And we've all felt inflationary pressures over the last while, and will likely continue to as well. But then nonetheless, that's put Calibre into this position to be able to do a deal like Marathon Gold. Because if you look at the last 4 years and where
Hmm.
we've come, we started off in Q4 of 2019 with, net of obligations, about $4 million in cash
Hmm.
after acquiring the assets and partnering with B2 Gold. right? We've gone from 200,000 ounces of reserve in Nicaragua to now 1.1 million ounces at the end of 2022.
Hmm.
And I believe that after this year's campaign, we're in a great position to replace and potentially increase the reserve and resource. And then year over year, we've seen almost a 20% increase in production growth.
Hmm.
But importantly, we've gone from 4 million in cash to at the end of Q3, $97 million
Hmm.
in cash
Yeah.
and a very clean balance sheet, which set us up to be able to do this deal.
Absolutely. No, I see the same way. That's why I'm a shareholder, of course, because this is you guys deliver. This is what I really like. Um, would that mean with, let's say, after Q4, you maybe have, I don't know, 110, 120 million cash plus the financing money then? So we talk maybe about 160 million then, when everything is clean and clear. But would that mean that you could bring Gold Rock by yourself in production then in Nevada?
Yeah, I mean, it's if we decided to at some point in time in the future, I think we want to see size,
Hmm.
a little bit more size there. We've got to do some more technical studies,
Hmm.
but the focus right now is one, close the deal,
Hmm.
ensure all ducks are in a row to complete that in January.
Yeah.
But all I mean, the highest priority at the moment is Valentine Lake and
Hmm.
the delivery of that. So we'll be coming out with some sort of an update in Q1 of upon close,
Hmm.
Q1 of 2024 on the update of the project, how things are going.
Hmm.
And Gold Rock won't be as high a priority. I mean, we're still going to be doing work on it, exploration on it. But
Hmm.
given that the decision had been made on Valentine, 50% of the construction is done. So that's our highest priority at the moment. And then once that is complete, built, and operating as our expectations, then we'll look at additional opportunities in the portfolio, but that's the number one thing at the moment, because that, as we've talked about, that gets us to that 500,000 ounce a year mark with Central America, Nevada, and Newfoundland.
Hmm. Absolutely. Fantastic. So let's talk shortly about some exploration because you had also high grade gold below the Jabali mine and the resource, and you identified three additional gold targets within 10 kilometers only of the Libertad mill. And if I look at those drill results, I mean 10.8 grams over 14 meters. That is really a burner. 18.8 over 3.1, 4.5, 3.1 meters, 8.4, almost 9 meters. Yeah, this is fantastic, even if it's underground because it's quite shallow, right? So the thing is, to me, if you drill that further, would that mean that we have a new little jackpot here?
Well, this is it. This is why we're excited as well. Is that this heavily underground mine has kind of been the little engine that could.
Hmm.
It continues to deliver. It's been an average of about a 4 gram underground ore body.
Hmm.
And as you just said, now we hit into some of the higher grade zones here over very good widths. 8.4 over 8.9 meters,
Hmm.
8.4 grams over 8.9 meters true widths, 18 over 3,
Hmm.
18.8 grams over 3 meters. So yeah, we've got some rigs on there now, drilling from surface,
Hmm.
testing the down plunge extension of that. And I would imagine that January, February, we'll have some results from that.
Hmm.
So that's pretty exciting. Um, but really, what I think is key to highlight here is that we invest, 20 to 25 million dollars, and we have invested that in
Hmm.
exploration over the last 4 years annually, right? And we've had between 9 and 15 rigs on average operating within the country,
Hmm.
because we've got many different projects within the pipeline that could come on. The exploration team's done a fantastic job, and here it's evidenced by this discovery of this high grade extension outside of resources.
Hmm.
And now we're testing 100 to 150 meters down plunge of that. So it looks like quite a high grade and prolific system that has roots to it, and a really good potential to expand. But also, as you pointed out, we're also finding material near surface, right within 5-10 kilometers of the operation of the
Hmm.
mill.
Hmm.
Earlier in Q3, we also put out a Volcan resource. So it's about almost 200,000 ounces in a shallow, high grade
Nice.
open pit,
Hmm.
which it's important to note because we're finding these 1 to 200,000 ounce, 300,000 ounce deposits in around the process plants. But you see, because we have the process plants, the capital is sunk.
Mhm.
Finding another 100, 200,000 ounces, very high return on invested capital
Mhm.
because we don't need to invest hundreds of millions of dollars in order to realize the value of that gold, right?
Mhm.
So that's why investment into exploration is some of the highest return capital we have
Mhm.
to continue to have a sustainable operation, but also increase resources and reserves and demonstrate a longer mine life to increase
Mhm.
NAV so we increase share price performance.
Absolutely. That's what you all want to see, right?
And you know what's been great about that,
Yeah.
Johan, is we've been able to do that through operating cash flow
Mhm.
and not go back to the market and raise
That's
funds.
absolutely the
And
best.
that's our focus.
Mhm.
We will continue to do that.
Mhm.
And I think there's tremendous potential in all the areas we have to operate,
Mhm.
particularly in and around targets we have identified
Mhm.
in Nicaragua. Like we've talked about the Pantheon corridor. It's a multi-kilometer zone. And in 2022, we discovered the Pantheon North area, 250,000 ounces at over 9.5 grams per ton gold. And this is one zone within that 6 kilometer corridor or plus 6 kilometer corridor. So there's excellent potential around the country. And you look at Limon, it's been in production since the 1920s. It's produced over 4 million ounces of gold. So geological potential is fantastic,
Mhm.
and we will continue to invest.
Fantastic. Super. Let's come shortly to 2024. What do you think would be, let's say, yeah, two, three most important targets you want to fulfill next year, or what is really important for you next year?
Well, I think the highest critical element for the business going forward is closing the deal. We
Mhm.
know that,
Mhm.
but then delivering on Valentine Lake,
Mhm.
right? So we've got 50% of the construction to go based on the Q3 information from Marathon.
Mhm.
50% of the project is built. They've done a great job doing a lot of earthworks, tailings management facility, foundation and footings at the process plant site, power to site. So now, with our combined financial capabilities, operating cash flow, production from Central America and Nicaragua, to be able to fully finance that mine now, right?
Mhm.
So fully financed with the Marathon cash, with the Marathon debt facility, Calibre's cash and operating cash flow. We're in a great position, fully financed. And so now it's getting through that process of completion, then mill commissioning next year, and then being in position to be pouring gold in the first half of 2025. I mean, that's really the critical elements for 2024.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's delivering on expectations from the current
Yep.
operations. And importantly, we're not going to slow down in terms of our investment back into our business,
Mhm.
right? That's why people have followed Calibre. We've seen what we've been able to do, as you've said,
Mhm.
delivering on expectations, but also that continuous investment in exploration and coming out with results on a regular basis.
Mhm.
Continue to tell that story. And I would anticipate that's going to be the case for everything in Newfoundland. Delivery, development, construction, and then also the exploration potential there is vast. So I would imagine that we're going to be in there doing exploration work. I don't want to get ahead of myself because we're not closed yet, but let's get through this next phase, which is a key milestone in 2024.
Absolutely. Super. Ryan, thank you very much. We wish you well for that. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I would suggest just keep delivering. Then we are all in good shape.
Absolutely. We'll do our best. Heads down, keep going forward, right? So,
Super.
absolutely. Thanks very much, Johan.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. And everybody out there, have a festive season. I look forward to catching up again soon.
That's how we do it. Thank you very much, Ryan. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ryan King from Calibre Mining, and you heard it. Everything is in perfect shape. The M&A with Marathon Gold is really moving forward. The deal should be closed in the first quarter next year, and this will then deliver, hopefully in 2025, to a 500,000 ounce producer. I mean, Calibre did already a fantastic job. Don't forget they have already now over $100 million in the bank. That is great. Almost yeah, the debt is really not really measurable. And from that side, they are doing everything what they told us and promised us. They are really over fulfilling. This is what we write, over delivery. This is exactly how you make businesses successful. And this is exactly what Calibre is doing. And for that, honestly, the share price is way too low. So really have a look on Calibre. This is a fantastic company. We wish you a Merry Christmas, all the best. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year. Bye bye from Switzerland.